You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 144.
144 is your boy Steven Segway this week.
I see where you went there. I like it. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Holla at us. Ralph, my guy.
Johnny, my brother.
My pal. My boy. What's happening?
Man, nothing much, man. It's been a brief hiatus, man. Just, we both had travel arrangements that we just could not get away from. And I don't think we really wanted to. But
Nah, definitely not.
But nah, man, we just... the schedules didn't align to where we couldn't provide an episode for you guys last week. So we appreciate you guys for just being here with us right now. But I'm cool, man. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm still recovering from my from my trip. Like we talked off mic, got back in town late last Monday and hit the ground running. And I've literally been on the move ever since. Like right before we recorded was the only time I've had to sit down in like almost a week. So yeah, man. Here.
I got you, man. Nah, I'm cool. I'm low key still recovering, even though my trip was preceded yours just by maybe a day or two. Nothing too crazy, but it was just, I went to Vegas, man. Shout out. I have 3 takeaways from my trip for Vegas. I can't really get into all the nuts and bolts and nuances of that, but 3 takeaways. I was out there for the NFL draft. One, obviously, the Chicago Bears need a defensive tackle because I've heard that twice.
Okay. All right.
2, my money only goes to certain places in Vegas. I am not a Vegas guy. Like, I do not have the money to be out there like that.
Right. No shows. You ain't going to see the Jabberwockies, none of that.
Nah. I mean, while I was out there for the draft, we went to a few clubs and things like that. But I wasn't there for necessarily like the shows, if that makes sense. Just kind of just to be outside and drinking and kicking.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that.
That type of stuff. And then thirdly, I was able to kick it with Views from the 7. Shout out to those guys. We were able to actually sit down and chop it up on the pod. Yep. Shout out to Spence, Ivan, and Skinny. I was just saying, hey, we can get together, grab a drink or something. Like, it was like, oh, no, come through for the pod. I was like, hey, yo. So check out that episode. I think it's called More About Nothing, but, I always shout them out anyway. But check out that podcast, me on it, whatever. We was talking shit.
Yeah, man. I listened to it. Spence got to see me on this DC versus Marvel talk. He got to see me on that because I don't know where he was going, but
he loves DC. That's it. No, he loves Batman. That's pretty much what it is.
No, he got to see me on that. He got to see me on that. No, but that's what's up, man. I took a trip down to Louisiana to be with my mom and my nephew and my sister for Mother's Day. So we just went down there and kicked it. Took my nephew we drove to Baton Rouge to take my nephew to see Disney on Ice.
How did that go?
He was not amused. He was not amused. It was so funny, but I enjoyed it. I relived my childhood when my mom took us to go see Disney on Ice. So it was dope.
That's crazy when the stuff you grew up on doesn't hit for the children of today. Like you probably want to see Paw Patrol or whatever the kids watch these days.
PJ Masks, that's his thing right now. I've seen a couple episodes, but I don't get it.
Cartoon characters, Ice, it works, kids.
Yeah, but
nah.
But see, my thing, I think he'll be 5 in a couple weeks actually, which is crazy. But I don't think he's seen many Disney movies. Like he recognizes Mickey Mouse,
exactly.
Of course. Toy Story, that's recognizable, and I think like Elsa from Frozen. But outside of that,
Disney don't really make films like that anymore.
Not
Like
for
it's
real.
really Pixar.
yeah,
Like if you ain't a Pixar, like that's really for them.
for real though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
Like how do you not like this? This
Fam,
is like this
30
brought us so much joy.
30 minutes into the joint, he asked my sister for her phone.
That's crazy.
That's so funny.
Kids are assholes. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way I paid 100 and whatever, 200 or whatever for these tickets, and you ain't enjoying.
Let me tell you, I enjoyed it enough for the both of us. It's funny though, because during the whole Disney on Ice thing, right? I was thinking to myself, during the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, the ice skaters, figure skaters, how they do their thing. Do you think that's what they do in their off time, like the Disney on Ice joints?
Nah, that's actually kind of nasty. Nah, I don't be training year round for me to put on no Mickey Mouse suit.
No, that's
when on my off time. Nah, we ain't doing that.
And see, I had that question in my mind, but also came to that same conclusion because a lot of the, I'm just gonna call them artists that were ice skating.
Yeah,
like
they
did a lot of stumbling.
I was gonna say they ain't doing no tricks.
No, they were, but they weren't that good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, this can't be them.
You ain't doing no flips. Or
This
nothing,
can't
my
be
boy.
them. They
Right.
did like the triple axle and all that, but it was more like a 2.5 axle. So
Got you.
yeah.
Got you. Nah, I get it.
So no, I debunked that during the show.
He's like, nah.
It's
Imagine training year round and you done won at least a medal. You know
Man,
what I'm
what?
saying? Then they tell you to put the suit on. What? The fuck? You know, put me in a movie or something.
Right.
You put me in no damn show.
It was
And
so
then no, respect the Shreveport, but Shreveport. Like what? Like
well,
you,
Baton Rouge, but still. Yeah, they ain't no better.
Olympic gold medal in Baton Rouge.
It's a
Only-
traveler show. It's
Only
a tra-
Boosie and Kevin Gates go in Baton Rouge.
a rich boy. No, that's funny. That's
Jesus.
funny. No, but overall, it was a great trip though.
No, that's what's up.
Had a lot of good food. I will say that.
Yeah. I know some good eating there.
A lot of good food. But so yeah. So shout out to my mom, my sister, my nephew, man.
Well, I know if y'all are sick of hearing us ramble, but what we gonna do off the dome?
Off the dome. Let's do it. Let's do it. You got it? You want me to take it?
I got one.
Okay.
We live in an age where people we got our anthems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Songs that are played at unfortunately at HBCU homecomings and brunches and things of that nature, right?
Unfortunately.
But have you heard? No. Have you heard a song that was an attempt at trying to make an anthem, but it just didn't work? Because we often herald these songs. We be like, oh, I'm gonna try and make another one.
Ooh. An
And it-
attempted anthem, but didn't hit.
It did not hit. I'll give you my answer because
Okay.
it's not an obvious answer. That's why I was perusing Instagram and somebody put this song as how you attach a song to your story like for something like that. And it's KG the artist. I love my HBCU. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I am a proud HBCU alum, but that is not it.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, and when you play it, you won't play it all the way through. I'm sorry. Respect to you, my brother. I don't know you, but that song is not it, my guy. Like, continue just to try to rap, but don't do that no more.
I feel like I would be able to answer this if I was on TikTok more. Let's see.
People try to make anthems all the time. They want to reinvent Swag Surf and all these other monstrous songs like that. And we got to think about it like this. Swag Surf, when it was out, we didn't go to it for like lyrical things or anything like that. So you don't have to put bars in none of these songs. So you ain't got to try to rap.
It was really only the hook. But actually, if you actually listen to the verses, some of those verses kind of hard. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We're not doing this.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think I am stumped because somebody that tried to make an anthem that didn't hit.
Like, they do these all the time.
And see, this is why it's off the dome because I really can't think. Like if I had more time,
yeah.
I'm certain I could get to something.
It'll come to you when we're done recording. I
Right.
guarantee you.
I'm gonna have to double back next week and give an answer because, damn, like I'm hating. I don't really appreciate this. I'm trying to think of a song that maybe sampled something from like the early 2000s that didn't hit like that.
Because it can be somebody trying to make an anthem. But I know people try. Like, usually anthems aren't like you can't manufacture it no matter how. Like the people have to receive it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like rest in peace to Archie Eversole. Like Ready. Like
oh yeah,
nothing about that is like it's made for what it's made for, right? It was made in the height of the crunk era, but then football adopted it. Then it's kind of like it has legs of its own now. Now
same thing with Whoop That Tree. Memphis right now in the playoffs.
well, they out now, but yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I get what you're saying.
I'm sorry, bro. I ain't got that. I feel terrible. I feel like I let the listeners down. I let Nas down. That's crazy. All right. So for my off the dome, looking at currently watching the NBA playoffs, it's been a great playoff season so far. Every series has been great. And even thinking back to NFL playoffs this past season, the NFL playoffs was dope too. Super Bowl was even dope. So I wanted to ask you, would you rather be a football player or a basketball player? And then which sport do you think it's easier to win a championship in?
Football. Football is more you know what I'm saying? But the thing with basketball players, one player can change your team. So it's probably easier to win in basketball. The team still has to be good. You on a trash football team, 53 people just can't get it done. But you can have one singular player that changes the dynamic of how you play. You know what I'm saying, on the basketball team. So it's a very loaded question. So maybe I'll go basketball.
For both?
I think basketball for both.
Okay.
Because I don't have to worry about the wear and tear on my body physically with people, the hitting and things of that nature. And then, you get the Giannis or the Ja, you get one of them on your team. You look a little different. Team a little different.
That's funny. I'm going with I would rather want to be a basketball player because again the same thing you're not gonna keep tackling me it's just it's weird to me.
Don't touch my body.
Yeah, it's weird to me. But I think there's an argument that can be made both ways about either football being easier to win in championship or basketball.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to lean toward football because if you get the right amount, if you get the right players at the right positions on offense and defense, the quarterback, of course, and if you get a good running back, you'll be good. You'll be good, and then on the defensive side, defense wins championships. So
they say.
So
they say. Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Majority of the time. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna lean toward football being.
No, I respect that because honestly I don't think there's a wrong answer. I lean to the professionals on that. It just depends on what you value in your teams and your sports. And if you're looking at one singular player that can get you over the hump, well, basketball is probably where you would lean to say that's your answer. Football is more camaraderie. It don't matter how. It take a lot of stuff to get going in football. It's not just one person. I know me, I'm the Tom Brady guy. I would say Tom Brady got 7, but he didn't win 7 by himself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So,
True, and I'm not mad at that. So yeah. So listeners, that's off the dome. Let us know. Is it easier to win a championship in football or basketball, and which one would you rather play?
Yeah. Have you ever heard somebody that tried to make an anthem, but it was a no-go? Please let us know. OS Gang, what up?
What's happening?
We back another week. We got a few topics, a few things we want to discuss. First, we have to say condolences to the family and friends of Kevin Samuels. Someone that was in this podcast media space had a meteoric rise.
There you go.
In the past, I think 2 years. A lot of controversy around him, but he died of a heart attack recently. So, just our condolences to that. But it's been a outpouring on social media, which has kind of been divisive in the black community, which is sad to say. But Johnny, what are your thoughts first about Kevin Samuels and his, I guess, perceived legacy?
I remember when the news first broke, I thought it was fake. I thought it was a hoax. My very first thought was, well, the internet hasn't tried to kill anybody in a long time. Because remember, that was a string of people trying to kill celebrities, which was nuts, right? This was a few years ago. And I was like, damn, this ain't happening in a minute. I'm certain Kevin Samuels is not dead because this is random as hell, right?
Yeah, it is.
But the next day, come to find out it was true. His mom confirmed it. We got more reports from other outlets as well. So it was, a sad day to see our brother in podcasting pass away so suddenly from a heart attack.
Yeah.
But what happened after with, let's just say, the Twitter community, insane. Like, I mean, it was a lot of condolences to him and his family, but also people on the other side, saying that was his karma and that's what you get, and like basically wishing for him or happy that he passed away, which is nasty, extremely nasty. Like, it's okay to have a difference of opinion, or maybe not even like the approach that Kevin Samuels had when it came to the type of media that he presented, which is fine. Like, you can disagree, everybody disagrees with something, but to like wish death or be happy that this individual died, like, you didn't know this man personally. Yeah, you knew the personality that he was when he presented himself on his podcast platforms and any other platforms, but you didn't know him personally. I think most of us podcasters, we have an on-air personality, I would say. Like, you get, like, me and Ralph, we are as much of ourselves as we can be, but we're still podcast personalities at the end of the day. So we didn't know Kevin Samuels as a person, as a human. Like, whatever he did outside of media, we didn't know him. So to wish that type of stuff on an individual is extremely nasty.
Very true. I have no pushback against anything you just said. I don't know. It was a lot. It was plenty of ways I wanted to approach this. Well, for one, I've been on social media probably off and on for the past week or so. So I really didn't. Maybe when Kevin Samuels died, I was probably like kind of like teetering off, and then I was like 0 dark 30 for like 5 days. But this is weird. First of all, the passing of it, sudden passing, and then the divisiveness that I've come to see. I'm just not here for like people for one treating him like he's Malcolm X, and then other people treating him like he's Adolf Hitler. Like it's like it's too extreme.
I feel that.
It's like he is not a black savior, but then again, in my personal opinion, his approach was a little wild, but I don't think he's a black condemner either. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can definitely disagree with his methods, how he presented information to the people that called into his show.
Yes.
And that's the other thing. I never gave two fucks about his show. Like, I never listened to his show. Like, I never tuned in and listened from point A until the time it ended. So all I have or my POV or my opinions were about those viral clips.
Yep.
So if that's all I had, that's, obviously a lot of people had.
Which, I imagine a lot of people are in the same boat. I am one of them included. Yes.
Exactly. So it's like I didn't listen to the show because I just didn't really care for that type of content in my wheelhouse. So that's why I didn't tune in.
Yep.
Now, if I was a purveyor of that content, maybe so.
Yeah.
Like, but it just doesn't do anything for me. But I will say this. You can't be controversial in life and then not have controversy in death. Those things don't work. So if you cause the shitstorm in life, it is only bound to happen in death. Damn, that's true. I can't rebut that. My point is, like, I'm not saying that we're he who is out sin cast the first stone. Let's go there. But I'm just not going to condemn him. But then again, I'm never celebrating because. As you know me personally, I take that very, very seriously. And I don't know what it's like to have beef with somebody that loses their life.
Right, okay.
So
yep.
If you have a beef with somebody, keep the same energy, my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep the same energy. But then again, like you said, no one knows him personally that has these grievances.
Yeah.
It was only against the message that he was putting out against black women. That's where all this comes from. And
the craziest thing about it is, from what I've seen, it wasn't only black women that he talked to on his show. Black men also called into his show, and he also offered them advice as well. Yeah, the same types of advice he will offer to black women. So,
you know what? I didn't mean to step on it. Go ahead. What I see is a lot of people doing a lot of talking and no one's listening. Right. You rebut the one person that you disagree with, and that's how you get these conversations online, right? you see one person that just wild about Kevin Samuels, and there's always going to be those people.
Of course.
Let them have that. You know what I'm saying? But once you rebuttal, then somebody from your timeline rebuttals you. Now it's just it's a cycle. It's a cycle. And I didn't know people cared this much.
Right. Me either.
Look, I guess because I'm married, I'm old. I just don't have the energy for that. Like I don't care. Like it's like, and then I'm not even gonna get into that bag. I'm not even gonna say that. The only black woman I'm supposed to care about is my wife.
That's hilarious. Back to your point about people like, I guess like absolutely like following and adoring him. Did you see this?
Yeah, I seen that bullshit.
This is crazy. An individual, I don't, because from the picture I can't tell if this is a man or a woman, but this individual got a portrait of Kevin Samuels on his or her calf muscle.
I wouldn't buy a T-shirt with that man's face on it,
this,
let alone getting his
this
image
mug
tattooed on my body.
This mug says Saint Samuels of Atlanta.
But see, that's why people have to push back against Kevin Samuels, because like it's the people that listen to him and hang on to his every word. I can get how something like that can be dangerous. Like, if you give this advice and people take it as sound advice, they're going to take it and run with it and use it where applicable in their dating situations. That shit may not just work for you.
Yeah.
That's just not how that works.
That's true. That's true. And I've also seen people on Twitter come out and say Kevin Samuels helped save like their relationship.
Well,
so it's like I don't know. I don't know.
I think he was coined as being an image consultant. I think that was his thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. I think, because I still didn't dial in that way.
Got you.
So if he was an image consultant and people continuously dialed into what he was doing, paid attention, subscribed, regardless of how you feel about the content, they subscribed, they called in. I don't know who's to blame.
I'm not sure. I think people see certain things and they interpret it the way that they want to interpret, and then from there they just take it and run with it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if Kevin Samuels himself is to blame or if the consumer, the individual that takes in the information, is to blame. Like, maybe it's a little blame on both sides.
It's a monster. Like, you can't get mad when Frankenstein get out of control.
Yeah, because you created it. Yeah,
we created it, right? Mm-hmm. In this content podcast space, you look for the clickbait, and he had a lot of clickbaity stuff where it came to like his content. Yep. But sometimes that can dilute what your actual message was.
Yes, exactly.
And you see that happen quite often.
Exactly.
But I think, from what I can tell, and this is just an overarching theme about patriarchy and things of that nature, it just comes to the fact that black women are always kind of like the joke, the butt, always getting, kind of downplayed or whatever the case may be. Everybody's not bitter. Everybody's not this. I do get that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a very touchy subject.
Definitely.
I do acknowledge that.
Yeah, man.
I do acknowledge that. But like we say, rest in peace to his family, his mother. I believe he did have children.
2, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
don't quote me.
But still.
Yeah.
There are people that loved and adored him, and I'm talking about family members. Not talking about the the people that become to know him as a personality. I'm talking about family.
There are people within his family, his close community of individuals who are grieving his death.
Yes.
So
my condolences to
them. Yeah,
for sure.
definitely, 100%. Yep.
But yeah. Let's get off this toxic train and jump on another one. Future dropped the album, man.
Beautiful segment.
I never liked you. Johnny said he didn't get a chance to listen to it, which is totally okay. Respectfully, you didn't miss too much.
Gotcha.
I think this holds true to what I predicted when we did our talk about the albums a few weeks ago. I never liked you. Crazy album title. I love it. Like, what I'm saying? Even dope album cover. Like, it's just, Future just trolling, man. But at this point, Future has been a mainstream artist for, I want to say his debut album came out in 2012.
Okay.
So that's 10 years.
10, yeah.
10 years.
He a vet.
Yeah, he a vet.
That's crazy.
When you get to vet status, you just drop albums. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that this album was to push the needle for anything. I don't think it was going to reinvent the wheel of trap music or any in trap vibe music. No, Future just made an album. I think it has some songs on there that are pretty dope. As a project, I could care less about it, but that's how I feel about most Future projects as of late.
Gotcha.
So it only confirmed what I thought anyway. Like, I think this is better than what he's done recently.
Okay.
But still.
Yeah. I guess how is it like? How's the production? How's the production?
Oh, production is like the thing with Future. Like, you're never gonna lack for production. It's just what the song is. Sometimes a lot of those songs kind of bleed in together. The songs that stand out, they stand out.
Yeah.
But when you start getting into the nuts and bolts of it, it's like
Yeah.
like, you know, like.
You know what though? I ain't gonna lie. When when the track list released, because I think it released like a day or two or something before the album came out, and I saw the track for Nut, I said, you know what? I'm not listening to this shit. I'm not listening to this.
Like,
because why?
He got a few joints that I add on my gym playlist, or when I'm riding around, I don't want to think. They are on there.
Yeah.
I throw that on there, but not a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of features on here. I think the Kanye song is okay.
Okay.
The Drake song I think is the best song on the album.
Okay. The
Like,
one
and that is a radio single at this point. So,
got you.
So I'm on one is good. I'm talking about Wait For You. Like, he has 2 Drake features.
Okay.
Chickens with ESTG, I actually do enjoy. Kodak Black, I do enjoy that as well. I mean, Voodoo with Kodak Black, I do enjoy that. Gold Stacks, cool. Holy Ghost, I like that. It's just, here and there. But don't ask me to rate this album. I really don't know. Because it's like, I knew what it was going to be coming in.
Right.
I knew it was going to be some. It's not trash. It's just not. It's not a top tier album. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Listen, literally, I got nothing for it because I didn't listen.
I got you. Well, let's talk about the lesser known of all the people that dropped in this 4-week span. Jack Harlow, Come Home, the Kids Miss You. Johnny did listen to this album. I just want to see what he thinks about this album or Jack Harlow at large. What do you got?
I had zero expectations going to this Jack Harlow album.
Yeah.
I did not listen to his first album, and I only know like a few singles from Jack Harlow. Like, I'm not a Jack Harlow like fan to listen to him like that. But I went ahead and just tried this out because he's not an artist I like regularly listen to, right? So this album is just okay. Like, it's not super fire, like super hard, but it's not trash. Like, it's not trash. Like, definitely got some shit on her I would keep in my playlist, like listen to.
Yeah.
But it's not, as an album as a whole, it's just okay. It's just okay.
It's mid. It's okay. I'll say it. Yeah, I've been the guy that's been on Jack, you know what I'm saying? And I've been kind of like, I guess you can say the Jack champion on this show in a way. But I listened to the album. I had a little bit of expectation because I really enjoyed what the first album was. I thought that this would build on top of that success. I think this song, like you said, I think these songs are okay, and I think what Jack Harlow is doing, he's of the Drake school of I'm gonna make songs for girls. And that's exactly what this album gives me. It is a Drake album without Drake. Like, it is a Drake album, but it doesn't have the Drake Midas touch in that way.
And see,
and that's how I perceive this Jack Harlow album. It is a strong, like, it's a 3. It's not a 3.25. It is a 3.
literally mid.
A 3.
That's hilarious.
It can be 2.75. That's still a C, ain't it? Like,
right. What's interesting and frustrating about this album, and actually kind of going back to Lotto's album, Jack Harlow, at least from like listening through this album, I only listened to it once, right? He can actually rap. And when I say rap, I mean, like, I'm not talking about make pop rap songs. I'm talking about he can go. And that was evident on the track that has Drake on it.
First of all, that's the best song on the album.
Yeah, 100%.
By far.
By far.
And we'll get into something else real quick with that Drake talk. But he couldn't let Drake out rap him on that song because everybody, it's like you see the Drake feature. Oh, let me click that.
Straight to it,
Straight
right?
to it. So if you're leading off the song and then you let Drake get his bars off at the end, no chorus. Oh, okay. So you better rap. Everything else, the First Class, the Nail Tech, all them other singles and stuff like that, I can take my foot off the gas and just be vibey. You know what I'm saying?
But that's me. This is Johnny speaking personally. That's my issue. Like, I understand today in hip hop with these newer artists that they make I just want to vibe music. And that's for a whole different audience. I get it. That's cool. But it frustrates me when I get half or 3/4 of an album of I want to vibe, but then I get the 1 or 2 tracks or 3 tracks where you going like.
And another thing, right? You have Pharrell on this album.
Yes.
You have Justin Timberlake. He only has 4 features: Pharrell, Justin Timberlake, and Lil Wayne. But the one we're talking about
It's Drake. That's insane. That is insane.
And remember, I had no knowledge of this before, but I did call Jack Harlow the Justin Timberlake of rap.
He did. He
so,
did.
So it's just ironic that Justin Timberlake's on the track and nobody batted their eyelash.
Ain't said a damn word. Not a word. Not a peep. Not a syllable.
This is hilarious,
Man,
but I
what?
mean the track is merely okay. Now let's get
That's white
off
privilege,
track,
though.
and then we're gonna segue to our last album. Now, Drake is on this album.
Yes.
He's on Future's album.
Yes.
Somehow he's staying relevant in a summer where he's not dropping, because both of these are getting a lot of talk and a lot of radio play. Drake is the $400 million man. He is going to stay around, and which is amazing. And if you're a Drake hater, if that's the thing that the term you want to go with, it's kind of unfortunate. Because when Universal Music Group or any big record label or a publishing house or whatever those places are called, they give you $400 million. They pay you for what you've done, not what you're going to do.
Right. That's
So
true.
It's like, God damn it! It's like Drake has the best songs on 2 of the 4 albums,
That has dropped within this month.
but yet he's being subbed on 1 and talked about on the one we finna get to. God damn! It's like, think about that.
I got nothing. I don't know. That's how you stay relevant. That's how you stay relevant. But see that.
And then remember when we did our Pusha previews, and Pusha said that he the song that they was talking about where he said he wanted diss Drake back, that's what the sub he was talking about on Churchill Downs with Jack.
Okay.
Because he said the middleman, the middleman,
Yeah, okay,
the plugs, that, as he was talking about Pusha, that was a sub. I was like,
I mean, decent bars.
Oh,
but
no,
I mean,
it was nice. I know exactly what it was.
But I mean,
It is what
what
it
we
is.
do? I mean,
I don't know.
Pusha said that's light. That means nothing.
It really was.
That's
Like,
like-
I mean, it was nice bars, but it's like at that point, if you go with Push, you might as well say his name.
Oh no, big fact.
It's like after everything y'all been through, you might as well go for the gusto.
Exactly. Speaking of, have your thoughts changed at all with the Pusha album?
It did.
Okay.
It did.
It did?
Unfortunately.
Let's hear it. What you got?
I dropped it down a little bit in the rating.
Damn.
I dropped it down to about 3 as well.
But why? What happened?
What you said kind of stood true. I just didn't hear it at first. It's
With
the difference in production. It's just like that. Those different sounds throw off what the album could be.
Man, listen.
It threw off what the album could be, and I was just so hyped to hear Push. Maybe I blocked it out. You know what I'm saying? Like I can come back and say this.
No, I got you.
But that's why I hate having knee-jerk reactions to albums.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying it's mid, but damn, it is mid. But not mid in the sense of the music. I think just what the album is. I just think, like you said, 10 best from here, 10 best from here. We go put them together. These don't really blend well.
If it would have been Pharrell producing all the songs or Kanye West producing all the songs, it would have been way better.
And I think this is the thing. Kanye knows how to produce better for Pusha at this time.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, this is the thing, right? We give Pharrell credit for what Neptunes did. These are Pharrell beats, not Chad and Pharrell or their production team. Kanye, like now Kanye has a production team as well. But the thing with Kanye, I think that he was invested more in Pusha as a solo artist. So it's just like I think what he does for Pusha and his solo catalog just works better.
I'm not mad at that assessment, but I think for this particular album, I think I liked Pharrell's production better with how Pusha was rapping on this particular album. Okay. Not saying I didn't enjoy the Kanye tracks, which I did, but I think the Pharrell produced ones were better.
Okay. And I haven't really gone back to, so just excuse me on this, but I just know that Pharrell didn't give him a Diet Coke. That's all I know.
Wait, which one of them did Neck and Wrist? Was that Pharrell?
Pharrell
I feel like it was Pharrell. It sounded like Pharrell.
Okay. Did that.
Because
the Jay-Z.
That shit hard.
No, that's cool too. Like yes.
What I will say, the songs from It's All Dry individually.
Man, as a collective, as a album, I don't know how I feel about it. And kind of going toward what we're going to do toward the end of the year when we do our top fives or whatever, it still may be there.
Yeah.
It's just right now, I'm just like, I want to love it so much. And that's how I gave it that premature high rating that I did. But now it's kind of like the music is set in. I can really focus on what I didn't really enjoy. Yeah, I got it kind of, it's not a 4. It may not be a 3, but it ain't a 4 either.
Got you. No, I get you. I got you.
All right.
I heard you talk about it on
and that's because I was listening to it on the plane. I'm listening to it in the airport, so it's like now I'll get to what I don't care about. Now I'm like, damn.
Yep.
Like maybe I'm just forcing myself to like damn it. All right. Let's get to our knee-jerk reaction. We just talked about knee-jerk reactions about albums, but we got to get into this one. Kendrick Lamar has shut down the world once again. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers came out on Friday. It is now Sunday. Johnny, are you ready to give this album the classic title?
No. I'm not. I'm not.
That's usually how it goes. It's classic.
Right, facts. Oh man. Wait, you want to get to the heart first? Or
let's get to the heart first.
Okay,
all right. He put out the heart part 5, which is actually an ongoing type of Lucy situation that he does. It got the internet a buzz because of the facial switching.
Deep fake.
Yeah, all that, right?
Yeah.
But it got you hyped, but you know that it's not a part of the album.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
You knew that, and then we talked, and I think you even alluded to a single. This was not a single, but it's like an album teaser.
Yes, exactly.
So what do you think about the song or the video or both?
So I think like most of the world, I watched the video before I actually listened. So I think my reaction to the song is, as well as everybody else, is a little different. So first of all, the song itself is dope. It's fire. Fire as hell. But I think without the video, we don't interpret it the way we would if the video hadn't come out.
That's exactly it.
And I have this thing. I don't know. It's itching in my brain when people just everybody's on the train. Oh, this is genius. This is so great. I can't believe he did this. Blah blah blah. When I know for sure that same reaction would not have happened if this video didn't come out, if it was audio only, because I don't think a lot of people would have been able to interpret it the way it was meant to be interpreted if the video didn't come out.
We gonna get to them. No, let's talk about them now. These Kendrick nut huggers. Like I'm like, hey, my boy, like,
come on, man.
This is not a masterpiece. I'm not taking away from Kendrick as being an extraordinary artist, but he is an acquired taste.
Oh, agreed.
We're not gonna sit 100%. Here and act like this is the 100%. Best thing we've ever heard. Like you start seeing those Twitter excerpts, and like I said, I was on social media for a while. I get back, I see all this bullshit. I'm like, oh god, like it's just
hilarious.
When you start seeing like, oh, this is a masterpiece, I can't wait to dive back in. Like, no.
That's what I'm saying.
Kendrick makes a lot of over the head thematic type of music, so there's no way you caught everything in one listen.
That's what I'm saying.
One listen. No, I know you didn't. You're a liar.
No, big facts. Big facts. So yeah, that was my only thing. So yeah, I did watch the video, which the video was dope. Like the whole deep fake shit. Like whoever he got to help him like do that did phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
haven't watched the video since. I'm only listening to the audio now.
Exactly.
Like I'm only listening to the audio now. But even in listening to it, like you said, Kendrick is definitely an acquired taste because the way he raps, the way he puts his songs and bars and all that together is it's different. Like it's different. It's different, which I appreciate, but I just know for sure like a lot of y'all wouldn't be able to like really just listen to this because all y'all would be saying is he's trying too hard, and that's what I heard about the fucking album, which we're about to get into.
Well, hey, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, hey, a double disc album, his last album on TDE. What do you think about this project?
So after listening to The Heart, I was like, okay, is this the direction he's going in? I don't know. Let's see what happens. So I hit play. The first few tracks come on. I think the track 2 N95.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, this is hard. Like I wasn't expecting like super hard rapping from Kendrick. I was expecting a lot of introspection, which we did get throughout the album. But with that track 2 hitting so hard, I was like, oh damn, is that what we getting? The whole first disc to me, disc 1. First of all, I think that was actually the Big Steppers. Do you think? But I think no. Okay, never mind.
You know me. Hey, look, I got nothing for you, my boy.
For me?
Not that.
Man, let me just say this. I think both albums are really great, and there's a lot to digest within each song. Like
exactly.
each song. I'm not even talking about each disc. Each song, there's a lot to digest. It's so much to go back to.
Yeah. I think this is a very well put together album.
Yes,
I think it's very well put together.
Agreed.
I think it's going to have a little bit of staying power because we want Kendrick to be around in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's been 5 years, and then you give us a double disc album. I don't think there's a lot of bad songs on here. I don't think anything is necessarily bad. It's just like I'm not forcing myself to like it. I just like when I listen to it, it's like okay, some things maybe I just didn't get. Like and there's no really notable slappers on here like that in that way.
Oh, you don't think?
It's like two.
Okay.
Two
Yeah.
out of 18 songs. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
but is Kendrick like the slap guy though? Like
he can make slaps.
He can.
That's the point.
He can. But like,
but it's like okay, you got the song with Blast, which I love. I love Blast, man. But Die Hard, I think, which was a standout track in that way, Father Time, because of the things that he discussed on there. We Cry Together was wild.
Let me tell you,
listen to.
That's my favorite. Like
We
that
Cry Together?
in 95. Those are my 2 favorite songs. But We Cry Together though. Let me explain to you why I like this song. It's multiple reasons, right? First of all, everything that is on social media between black men and black women, whatever arguments they have, it's in this damn song. The only thing missing is $200 dates. That's the only thing missing. So first, that off the rip, it's Kendrick Lamar saying all y'all are stupid and trash for arguing about this dumb shit every day. Because at the end, they got back together anyway, ended up having sex, right?
Yeah.
Second of all, the way that they were able to portray like this argument as a song, like rapping back and forth. First of all, I think Taylor Page 2-1 Kendrick. She went crazy. Both of them went crazy.
The women always win.
Man, listen,
they always do.
She was hard. So We Cry Together is like a phenomenal song, not only because they were able to create a song from an argument or argument from a song or whatever, but because it's literally encompassing everything that black men and black women do on a daily basis on social media. I thought that was fire. That is so fire to me. So I'm sorry, I just had to get
Oh, no, I'm with you on that. But no, I think kind of reviewing the track list, I see what you were saying. The Big Steppers was the first half, and then
Mr. Morale.
Mr. Morale the second half. I like Mr. Morale because all the introspection is on there, and it's kind of like you digest a lot. Like Auntie Diaries, I had to go back and look at the name of that track. I really enjoyed Kendrick being that vulnerable on there. Like just the things that he talked about in that song. So I think that this album altogether is just a very good album. Like I said, this is, Friday, so, it's Sunday now, so
right.
It's a classic until I'm joking. But I don't really know how to rate it right now. It's probably like a 4. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I don't have a rating.
I really
at
don't
the
want to
moment.
rate it, like, because this takes time. It's a lot to digest. I'm not one of those people that go off the ledge and like, oh my God, this is great.
Yeah, right.
But it's a very strong album.
Okay.
I can't even take this away. I actually like this better than Damn.
Oh, big facts. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Real quick, something that kind of threw me off.
Mm-hmm.
Kodak Black is like all throughout this album. Now, I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. Mm-hmm. It's just something that I clearly was not expecting.
Yeah, I didn't know Kendrick knew who Kodak Black was.
Right, man. What? So for Kendrick to incorporate Kodak Black as much as he did, not only does he have a feature on the song, but he's like on interludes, like he's like throughout both discs actually. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's Kendrick Lamar's way of like stamping Kodak as like one of the top next generation. I don't know.
I wouldn't go that far, but
because
Kendrick, he respects his creativity. Maybe that's what.
Because Kendrick isn't the only one from this class that's kind of like, I guess, welcomed him. Because doesn't Drake and Cole got like songs with him? Future put him on his album. Like a lot of the vets in the game now are
kind of
yeah, him and Lil Baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you tap into what Kodak does, it's not necessarily bad. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's an acquired taste too. If that's not if that's not the lane of music that you choose to go in.
Yeah.
Can he rap? I think he can. Honestly, it's just a whole album of it.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. Like, but it's actually a few Kodak verses I fuck with. But you know that's neither here nor there. But that's an interesting take though. I didn't think about it in that way though about Kodak.
It's just I don't know. I guess hearing him so much is like thinking back. It's like wow, like it's not only Kendrick because again Kendrick hasn't been out for 5 years, so of course we don't really know. We didn't know who Kendrick was listening to or what he was doing, nothing like that. But Future, Cole, Drake, a lot of these other artists have been featuring Kodak on their music. So it's like damn, like
gotcha.
That's kind of I guess it's dope. Like it's dope.
Okay.
Just unexpected, but it's dope.
Right. Well, since we're kind of wrapping up what we think about what the Kendrick album is, we had 4 weeks, 4 albums, right? Mm-hmm. Rank them. Oh well, obviously you didn't listen to Future, so that'll probably be
that's last.
For you.
The only reason I'm putting Pusha at 1 is because Kendrick just came out over the weekend.
That's fair.
So Pusha, Kendrick, Jack, Future.
Yeah. Well, I'll be that guy. I'll put Kendrick first.
Okay. Which again, I'm not mad at.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at.
I'll put Kendrick, then Pusha, Future, Jack.
And I'm also looking at it like this. Yeah, Kendrick joint just came out, and yes, it's still in rotation. It's probably gonna be in rotation for like the next week at least. Mm-hmm. But after that, like I don't know how much from both of those discs that I'll actually keep in rotation. Yeah. Not saying I don't really think there's a skippable track on either disc, to be honest. Not that I could recall.
Not really.
But like a lot of the stuff from the Mr. Morale disc, like is real heavy. So that's not something I can continue to listen to. Because I mean, listen, I teared up on some of them joints on the sake. I ain't gonna lie to you. So that's why I'm putting Pusha first. Because I'm actually still listening to Pusha music, like from that album. Mm-hmm. So okay, last thing. Last thing on the Kendrick album. Mm-hmm. With all of the introspection, it sounds as if from track 1 of the first disc to the last track on the second disc, it sounded like it was like a whole therapy session. Like everything that Kendrick Lamar had been through in his life, everything that's been happening in the world since he dropped Damn, all of that is in both of these albums, and it sounds like it's him just trying to talk everything out. And that's something that I kind of grabbed from everything listening to both of those discs. So I just want to put that out there. Because even in track 1 of the first disc, he mentioned going to therapy or starting therapy or something like that. And then in the last track of the second disc called Mirror, he talked about being in therapy and like holding up a mirror to himself and like seeing the reflection of everything that's been going on, all that kind of stuff. So I just, kind of paid attention to that. That's all. I just wanted to get that out.
Gotcha.
So shout out to Kendrick Lamar, man. This is hell of an album. Like for him to be gone for 5 years, he definitely put out quality music.
Yeah. No, that's what's up, man. But speaking of somebody that's gonna be gone for some years, right? Oh man, we gotta talk about this Young Thug indictment. Young Thug got hit with the RICO charge. Him and the whole YSL label. Johnny, what do you think about the YSL label being hit with a 56-count charge on the RICO in Atlanta?
Fam, this is so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not even sure where to start. It's like, and thinking about it, thinking through it, it's kind of wild on both sides. On Young Thug side of everything and also on the cop side of everything, right? The fact that Young Thug and YSL like was doing all this stuff is insane. It's just like, it's nuts to really even think about.
Yep.
But also for them to like really be doing that stuff and putting it in their music is also insane. But when I look at it from the cop side, it's like they've been looking at or surveilling YSL for a number of years, and allegedly watching people within YSL commit certain crimes, and allowing those crimes to continue up until now, where they want to actually present the charges in the case and all that. So it's like, at what point on the cop side do you like stop these alleged crimes from happening because people lost lives, or what? I don't know. It's just a lot of, I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot to really think about.
This is very true. Yeah, man. I'm saying they hit you with the RICO, they repoed your vehicle. Everything was all good just a week ago.
Literally. Literally.
Damn, Thug. Well, I'll say it like this: we gonna cut straight through all the nuance. Hey, you committed a crime, my pals. I'm sorry. I don't feel the way. I don't feel bad. Nah. This is the thing, right? Money doesn't change; it makes you more who you are, right? I'm gonna quote rappers all throughout this thing.
Okay.
You would have did the same thing with less money, right?
Okay.
This gives you more money, more power, more influence to do the same shit you would have been doing regardless, right? We know Young Thug was a street nigga. Nobody ever questioned that, regardless of all the dressing, all the weird dressing. But, hey, he ascended to a level to where you would think he would leave that shit alone, right? You don't get, like, hey, for whatever you want to say about Young Thug, that man transformed himself into $1 million, I wouldn't say billion, but $1 million brand. No, like, he's sitting front row at Paris Fashion Week. I don't really know if y'all really care about stuff like that, but that's huge.
Yeah, because we were even talking about Gunna a few weeks ago about how he's out there too.
He's out there in that way too. So you don't get to sit in those spaces. Like, people can identify you before they can identify the songs that you make. Crazy. That is crazy to me.
That's nuts.
So I won't get into this whole hip hop police stuff when they was committing crime. Like, y'all sliding on folks in rented cars. Like, fam, like, you read this article and you read the court documents. Hey, them niggas is going to prison. Like not all of them, but the thing is, the RICO was enacted to take down the mob. Okay, we know that. We established that. Racketeering can go for a racket of organized crime. So if Young Thug happened to be their picture at the top of somebody's fucking chalkboard and they start pinning niggas like YSL people down,
all the yarn.
Listen, they had McNulty and Lester on the crime scene, man. Like, that's crazy.
That is nuts.
So I hate it because I know what I imagine, you know what I'm saying? I'm not from that, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I've been around it. Mm-hmm. I can imagine what he had to go through to get to where he was at. You threw that away. You threw it away. So I really don't have sympathy for that. You had people committing crimes in your name, and you financed it, you helped it. This is not me being hateful of black men, but that is stupid. Yeah. That is dumb. Like, you took the millions that you don't get millions from music. You get it from touring, right? And other things. Yeah. But it's not in the music. But you were able to become, like, damn near one of the most influential artists of the past 10 years.
Word.
This is your legacy now.
All gone.
Like, he's going to jail. Like, he's not. The only way he get out of this is if he Tekashi the joint. Like, if he Nino Brown the joint. I am not a part of. He's like, I am not the head of CMB. I am just a member. Like, what? Like, you can't be YSL Huncho for 13 years and then you get in court like
somebody wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
You gonna shaggy the shit. Man, listen. Yeah.
Like,
No,
did you read the court document?
No, I didn't.
Bro.
It's nasty.
Nasty.
Damn.
Like, it's 50 plus charges. I don't know if it's 56 or 58. Excuse me on that. I'm looking at the article, but I don't feel like looking at it. 56 to 58. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's a lot of people on there with double-digit charges. From the 56. So, number one is the RICO Act. They'll hit you with that if you were signed to YSL. So, like, his artist, that's how Gunna got caught up in it.
Damn.
Gunna never committed any crimes. But the fact that he was YSL, he signed the Young Thug. Oh, you're part of this criminal enterprise.
Just from signing.
So
to
you look at you look at those court documents. You see Gunna. You see like YSL Slime Life Slug or some shit like that. I mean that's a real name, like or a variation thereof. I might be exaggerating, but still, that is crazy to see. So, and this is the thing that I think that bothers me. Right. They're not the only record label to ever have like this type of stain on their name, but this only happens with the rap labels.
Oh, of course.
But most labels have one foot in the streets and one out because that's how a lot of gangsters clean their money, music.
Right.
But the rap labels always catch it. But I can't feel bad because you're still a criminal. Like we're not. I'm not putting on my Martin Luther King hush puppies. For this.
Come on, man.
For this.
You did the crime. You about to do all the time.
I am not a Republican in that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. But like, he rented a car from Hertz that was used in a killing of somebody. Like Hertz they trace that back to you.
That's easily traceable.
But they let it happen, though. This was years ago. So like you said, how many crimes do you have to let go on?
Right, yeah.
I don't know. That's one of the questions that cops often face because we watch all these crime shows and then we become novice. I'm not speaking necessarily about you, but just all of us, right? Yeah. We watch all these cop shows and all these drug shows, and then when niggas really get hit with RICOs, we get dumb. Like we like niggas was chasing ghosts for 6 seasons, and we've seen this shit on the whiteboard, right? No, nothing.
Not a thing.
We get real dumb. Like we get.
That's damn.
These shows educate us about this stuff. We still let it happen. We still see it happen.
It's true. It's true. That's crazy. That's
the other part about this, I think that it's so many nuances to this. Did you hear about the YFN Lucci thing? Okay.
Clearly.
Well, okay. YFN Lucci was in prison. I didn't know. I only know of him and his a radio single, so I'm not a fan in that way. But he's in prison because of a RICO Act. And they were trying to kill him twice.
The YSL was trying to, okay.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that. Lucci, he asked for it to be relocated because they kept trying to kill him in prison. The judge was like, nah. But it turns out that Thug was funding the people that were trying to assassinate Lucci in prison.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you say assassinate, but, he's a public figure, so assassinate.
That's
why he's going to prison. Like it's layers to this. So I don't know if YFN Lucci was snitching because why would you want to kill somebody in prison?
Right.
Unless they tell her. So
all of this is above my street pay grade. I don't know what's
it's in here. I read it. I'm not invested in that way. I just read it. I just read it.
It's in the docs.
It's in the documents. But it's weird because
that's insane.
Now you want to get to the layers of it, right? What is this? I think what does this do for Atlanta hip hop?
What does it do for Atlanta hip hop?
Does it slow down the momentum any? I mean, because Young Thug is a central figure. Whatever you think about his music, whatever. He was pulling people in off the streets and doing whatever. Like, he could have been that next big feature for that next big artist. Because one thing that Atlanta has that other people don't have as far as hip hop goes, they have a farming system.
Yeah.
They'll pull the next person up. Does this damage it in any way, or am I thinking too far into the weeds?
Personally, I think you may be thinking a little bit too far because, Young Thug was one of those individuals, getting the new acts and all that good stuff. Cool, but I think that there are other people like Young Thug in Atlanta still doing the same thing. And I even saw today, Rich Homie Quan just previewed some new music. Like maybe he about to try to step in that spot since Thug about to be gone forever. So
Thug ain't getting out.
like.
If he get out, it's gonna be like a 12-year something. Like they may not catch him for like murders and things of that nature, but you being the head of a perceived criminal racket,
that's crazy. So I don't think that stops anything that's happening in Atlanta though.
Gotcha.
If it does, maybe for like a year or 2, 3 max. But outside of that, I think it'll be fine because the talent is there. The talent's there. So
yeah, that's true. It's just that we're starting to get to a point where these rappers are building generational wealth, and they're doing things like you still want to be perceived as real, even though you have all this money, power, influence, access. Crazy.
Which is that?
I ain't saying you got to turn to what was it, Gangsta Delicious from Boondocks. She ain't got to do that. Like know what I'm saying?
Booty butt, chick.
Exactly. You ain't got to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got to prove nothing to none of these niggas.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Get your money, go into hiding. Like you don't. I guess for me, I don't understand why Young Thug, as the musical artist that he was, got to the popularity that he did, like you said, out at Paris Fashion Week, doing all these things. Young Thug was a brand. Young Thug was a brand,
yes.
Right? So you have that. Why continue to still do these crimes, basically? I do not understand. All under the guise of being the real, I don't know. That's just wild to me.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for listening to our riveting street takes.
Riveting.
Riveting.
Right, riveting street. Oxymoron.
Yep. Right. But, we're definitely going to switch the cloth on you. We go out to talk about something that's really riveting out here in these streets. Let's talk about Dr. Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It's been a while. We both actually just saw it later than...
Facts.
Like, we didn't see it in opening real time
weekend,
or opening weekend, whatever. So, we got to get into this blurred content, this blurred bag. We've been anticipating this film for a long time. Johnny, what is your first impression about Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness?
First of all, I'm going to say this. I'm never waiting until week 2 to see a Marvel movie ever again. You know how many spoilers I saw? I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I ducked as many, spoilers as I had. And, we probably subscribe to the same type of content on YouTube. So, you seen
even the thumbnails.
Yeah, the thumbnails be nasty.
God
damn,
bro.
I knew he was in there. I was like, oh, I know he. When does this scene happen?
Right, yeah. Wow, right. Anyway, okay. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Where do I begin with this? First of all,
just your first impression about the film before you get into it all the way.
First of all, I'm going to say I enjoyed the movie.
Okay.
The movie was thoroughly enjoyable.
Yes.
I will start with that.
Okay.
What did you think?
I think it was enjoyable.
Okay.
That's kind of like where I leave it.
Same.
Okay, that's where I leave it.
Man, I really don't know where to start. First of all, the movie was 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was too short. I think the movie was too short. The movie started and got right to the shits. The movie got right, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Scene 1, and I feel like it never really died down. It may have had 1 or 2 dry spots to me. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, the movie was going.
Mm-hmm.
But when the movie was over, I didn't feel fulfilled like I would during after a Marvel movie. I felt like I wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually thought about this morning. This movie probably should have been season 2 of WandaVision. I think if it was season 2 of WandaVision, it would have hit harder for me.
I'm not mad at that take. This is the thing how I feel about this film. I don't think it lacks from a time frame, right? I don't think just because it's 2.5 hours it have made a difference. No, I think the story was just all over the place, regardless. It's just you wanted this to be a bridge film so bad. Mm-hmm. That's not necessarily how it should be all the time. We don't necessarily focus on Doctor Strange a lot in this damn film, and that's
what I'm saying.
And okay, but this is the problem, right? We want all this. We want 70 different characters in every film, where we lose track of the damn main character. This was about Wanda and getting the X-Men and Fantastic Four here and then killing them in 10 minutes. Like, I was like, all right, that's pretty much what this film was for. Like, this had nothing to do with Dr. Strange. It was to introduce America Chavez. It was supposed to pretty much give layers to Wanda that we couldn't get in previous films, and then introduce 2 elements of the MCU that we've been pining for years. That's it.
What are those two?
The Fantastic Four and X-Men. Gotcha. That's all. That's what this film was for. It was a bridge film for other shit. It was not about Doctor Strange at all, and that's my knock against what this film was. I don't think it would have benefited from more time. It's just the story. Like, if the story was written differently, maybe, you can. Hey, this is the thing. We getting spoiled off these 2-hour films. Like, what are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do?
What are your thoughts on Wanda being
the villain? I actually like it. I actually like when the best villains have the layers, right? Mm-hmm. She had layers.
No,
she had the layers. Like she is delusioned in her way of thinking. She thinks that me reuniting with my children is what's best for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go through anybody and anything to get what I want for my happiness. When she feels like she sacrificed so much, she's not the only person that made sacrifice. So we can stop with all that tragic shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that shit. I lost my robot boyfriend. Shut up. We don't care no more. Facts. I don't care. We don't care no more.
But see, that's how I feel about. So Wanda as the villain, I thought was dope. Like, everything she was doing, like
the fall from
destroying.
Grace. You like the fall from Grace.
Like, that shit was dope. Fighting the people at Carmitage, the dream walking, all that shit was fire.
Yes,
I hated her motivations for it. The kids. Your kid's not real in this universe. I don't care about none of that.
They weren't real when you had them in.
That's what I'm saying. So we taking one of the weak points from WandaVision and putting it in this movie, which is why I said this movie could have been season 2 of WandaVision.
I got you.
Like, that's crazy to me.
And this, I give you your flowers when you write about stuff. It's just this leans so heavily on Disney Plus content.
It did.
It was WandaVision. It was What If. It's like, what? I imagine if you're the casual fan, this film was not for you.
Man,
this is not. Excuse me. This was not for you.
And I'm wondering if Marvel movies in the future that's coming out are going to start doing the same thing. Like,
well, I think only for this. I don't think you can do that for Thor or Black Panther in that way.
True.
You probably can put little stuff.
Yeah,
but
not,
this was heavy Disney Plus.
And remember, this movie was originally supposed to come out after WandaVision ended last year. So think about that too. So maybe it would have hit harder if it came out last year. So I don't know.
That's true too.
This movie definitely left me, like, I don't know. I didn't feel fulfilled like I normally would after a Marvel movie.
Okay.
Now, I will say I thoroughly enjoyed the Illuminati scenes. I did. I didn't really like Mordo in the Illuminati, but outside of that, I enjoyed those scenes. Like, seeing my boy as Mr. Fantastic. Like, people been
the fan cast
like him. That was dope.
That almost looked Photoshop. I was like, hey man, that's the same thing I seen on that bootleg page. That's real one.
But his suit was dope. Like, it was dope to see him, and then seeing Professor X in his comic book accurate hover chair, fire. Like, that was dope to me. Captain Carter, seeing her in live action was dope because we only saw her in
Monica Rambeau's parent, mama being Captain Marvel. I thought that was dope.
Dope as hell, right?
You know, I hit one of them.
I know some of these words. So yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed the Illuminati scenes, but the fact that they died, like, that was kind of crazy.
This is my takeaway from that, right? And you'll correct me, right? It's only one Illuminati, right? It's not one Illuminati for every multiverse, right?
That I am not sure.
Okay, because if that's the case, that was dumb. Like, them getting killed. Like, I was like, how y'all the most powerful niggas? And y'all, I mean, I know we have to we have to establish Scarlet Witch as being powerful.
Yeah, which clearly she is. Clearly,
because she killed them using another version of herself,
which was nuts, right?
Which is nuts.
Like, that type of shit that was fire.
Nah, that's fire. But you walk through the Illuminati. You walk through those guys, and they supposed to be the most.
And see, the thing with the Illuminati is not that they are the most powerful
beings.
It's like they are the minds, the heads of the team, the powerful teams throughout the MCU. So you got Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four, you got Professor X from X-Men, Iron Man from the Avengers, and this is the comic.
Yeah, comic book.
Black Panther because he has like all the vibranium and like one of the smartest brains in the galaxy and all that type of shit. Like you got those people who are in the Illuminati because they do things to manipulate the masses to make them think things go a certain way, which is what they did with that Stephen Strange that died in that universe. That's what the Illuminati is for. It's not necessarily that they're the strongest beings.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They still got walked through. I didn't like
No,
that.
they did.
No,
No,
like,
they did.
I mean, well, yeah.
They did.
Not to push back on the powerful point, but still, you don't establish that these are the niggas that you answer to, then they get walked through. I'm like, hell. Like, I was like, okay, maybe Captain Marvel put up more fight. No, she still got whooped. I was like, damn, man.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So it's like, and then we get Professor X for two. Like, people have been waiting their whole MCU lives for Reed Richards and Professor X to show up.
Facts.
And they got obliterated and literally.
I think Reed Richards was the first one to go.
Yeah, he was.
That's crazy.
No, Black Bolt was the first to go. Then it was Reed.
Oh, Black Bolt. I forgot about that. Black Bolt. I don't know if you remember the Inhumans TV series.
That got canceled.
It did get canceled.
Yeah.
It was kind of trash. I ain't gonna lie. But that was the same guy that played Black Bolt in the Inhumans, which was kind of dope to me. So yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed the Illuminati scenes.
Oh no,
but
I'm not saying.
still.
I say I enjoyed what they were trying to do, but I was like, hey, if Wanda killed them in this universe, how we gonna get them again? Like that. Like some stuff. Hey, it suspends. Like, okay, we got to start thinking now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Is there another Professor X out there? Like, is that what we're trying to do?
I'm sure it did. Well, so remember, that was just one universe.
Oh, that's why, and I didn't. That's the concept of the Illuminati. I didn't understand.
Yeah,
I was just
got
like,
you.
is it
Yeah.
Illuminati in each universe?
Yep. It
Oh,
should be. Yeah.
It should be. I was
because
like,
all of those individuals in that Illuminati were from that particular universe. So every universe should have its own version. So now it won't necessarily be the same people in it.
Okay.
But each universe should have its own.
well, that
Illuminati.
makes sense because Peggy Carter wouldn't be Captain America in
Another universe.
the world that Okay.
Yep.
I was just like,
Yeah.
all right. I was like, I'm riding with you, Marvel.
Yeah, man. Listen,
But I mean, overall, I think this film was pretty good. Like, do I think it's rewatchable? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. Maybe down the line we'll appreciate what this film was more because sometimes that does happen. Sometimes you'll get a film and then 3 films later you're like, oh, that's what they were doing. And maybe that's the case here. But as a standalone film,
it's just
not leaning on anything because it already leans on other content heavily. So, and that's the part I didn't like. I was like, what about Doctor Strange?
Yeah. No,
that's all I kept asking. What about Doctor Strange?
Yeah, no, that's true. And he's still not even the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, that's crazy. This is just a good popcorn movie. I never thought I would say that about a Marvel MCU film, but this is just a good action-packed popcorn movie.
But sometimes some of the MCU films are like that. Think about Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was just, all right, we just here, baby. Like,
no, I mean, no facts. No, that's real.
Some of those are like that, but you didn't think for something that's introducing something that's so vast and so, big, you think it would have been a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You was like, now when Thor comes, you be like, all right, this is what I expect from this.
Mm-hmm.
But a Doctor Strange film, for one, this is his second film, and he hasn't had a film since 2016.
Yep,
that's 6 years.
Nasty,
crazy. And then your film is heavily relied upon on somebody else's storyline.
Nah, it's true. It's true.
Trash. It's trash. Like, I mean, it's an enjoyable film. I just hate the premise of it all. That's all.
Yeah, this really should have been season 2 of WandaVision. I can't even hold you. I can't hold you. They could have just not done a Doctor Strange sequel if they was gonna do this. And this is why I wish the Flash was still coming out this year, because I know for a fact the Flash was gonna be better than this shit. I know. I already knew before this movie came out. I did. But now we can't even compare because shit ain't coming out this year.
Hey man, they shelving that shit. Watch it.
No, they legit might do that, and I might riot. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, I think we're at the end of the docket.
Oh yeah, clearly we're here. Now, we appreciate you guys for tapping in. What do you think about any of the topics that we discussed? But definitely that Doctor Strange 2 review. What do you think about the movie?
Yes.
And our takes?
Yeah, man. So YouTube, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us this long.
Yep.
Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Yep.
We got more content coming for y'all soon.
Yep.
And if you are on audio, it's time to get into OS Song of the Week.
Song of the week.
So I'm clearly going to this Kendrick album. I'm gonna play N95, man. This is.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.